All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin. I'll also go over Ethereum, Solana, and we can take a quick look at the total market caps as well to see how those are doing. All right, so what happened with Bitcoin? Bitcoin was able to earlier yesterday, we bounced from the value area low of this range. You can see we can take a fixed range volume profile here of just this sideways price action that we're seeing here. And we take that fixed range volume profile, we put that on there, and we play the range. We are also seeing on Bitcoin a sort of higher low trend, almost like a triangle consolidation pattern form. So we could put our trend line here. Let me adjust that. There we go. And you can see that we are making higher lows here. And every time we touch this trend, we are seeing a bounce here. Now, as far as to the upside, we don't have as clear of a triangle trend to play because we could put it to the highs we just made earlier today. If we had it here before that, you can see we had a fake out of it, breakout. So our highs of the trend line are not quite as clear, but we do have a clear low trend line that is forming. And we do have a clear range to trade here. Now, with it being Friday and it being almost the weekend, we do need to just watch for this range to continue. With this range to continue till Monday would be nice, or even, Sunday afternoon my time, which is Monday morning in Asia. We could see a move then as well. But what happened earlier today? So earlier today, let's zoom in here on the 15-minute chart and actually let me put this range back on here. So we do this range here. All right. And earlier today, first of all day long, we have been seeing some bullish CVD absorption. You can see here from this vertical candle, this vertical line here, these lows that we saw here, we're making higher lows in the price action all the way up here. We are making lower lows in the CVD, and our open interest is increasing. So we are seeing bullish absorption happen through this move up here. So that is why I am looking for this 105 support to hold and possibly even along from here. We did have a rejection from our daily. So if I zoom out onto the daily chart here and we look at the daily, now this daily just was tapped, but oh, was it already tapped yesterday? Let's see here. Daily here, not that daily. Okay. Huh. All right. I thought we had a daily there, but I guess we don't. Let's go back onto the 1 hour chart. We did see a swing failure pattern, though, of this local high here on the hourly. I did not take this swing failure pattern because of the bullish absorption we were seeing, and we are also busting above that value area high. So I was a bit nervous about taking that. You can see we had broken our value area high. Now, in hindsight, it was just a wick break above on the hourly. But if I zoom in here, I was talking with a few people in Jason Casper's Discord while this was happening, and I did not look for this, first of all, for two reasons. So we were able to finally bust above the value area high, and on very low time frame, we did back test it, and we were looking like it was going to hold. Let's zoom in here. So we busted above the value area high, back tested it. It looked like it was going to hold. We continued, and this was after the SFP. So I was looking for shorts to get absorbed and then continue higher up into our box of resistance. That didn't happen. And so because of that, let's see here. We did finally break down below the value area low. We back tested it, and when we back tested it, that could have been a confirmation and started rejecting. That could have been a confirmation for a short to take down to the point of control here. Let's zoom out to the 12-minute chart here. So you can see we lost our value area low, came back up, back tested that value area low. When we started rejecting from this, you could have shorted that with a TP at this area here. Now, the reason why I'm looking for 105 to be our support level, because if we do a Fibonacci pull from the last low, the last time we bounced from the value area high yesterday on Thursday, to our new highs that we just made here, and we go to our 0.5, which is often a correction target, you can see our 0.5, our anchored VWAP from the all-time high, that's this light blue line here, and our point of control are all right here in this area. So this area, I am looking for it to be another higher low to come in to continue to build this bullish absorption that we're seeing to come take the all-time highs. With it being close to the weekend, we could just continue to range and continue to form bullish CVD absorption all weekend long and then see the big move on either Sunday afternoon or Monday. But I do think that with the bullish absorption we're seeing, we have to have a bullish bias for higher. Now, we took this SFP here, this local SFP from, what was that, Thursday's high, yesterday's high, but we did not take the SFP of this high here, the 107, and we barely front ran it. So that's another reason this high up here. Another reason why I wasn't shorting this because we were so close to our swing failure pattern here that I was waiting for a little bit higher for the swing fail here into that. Or really what I was looking for is a quick pump up into our naked daily point of control, daily 886 area, the swing failure pattern of that, close the candle below, and then see the dump. So I did not take the short up here. And I didn't even take the short on the back test of the value area high because of the bullish absorption we were seeing. Now, in the Discord, though, I was talking with some people, and I said if we confirm re-entry back into this, into the value area, then we could watch for a drop to 105, which is our support. So let's see here. All right, so right here. Low time frame, we did confirm re-entry into our value area, but even more bullish absorption is happening. I will be looking for a long at 105K if this continues. Now, this was right after we hit, retested our value area high, dropped back down. So I was looking for that. Now we have come down to that 105, and it looks like we're starting to see a bounce here. So let's zoom in on this and let's look at our time frames. Let's go to our 3-minute time frame. All right, so no real bullish divs there. Let's go on to our 1 minute. 1 minute, we were seeing bullish divs into this here. So you can see higher lows in the price action here, lower lows in the lower lows in the momentum waves, higher lows in the price action, and our money flow is starting to curve up here. If this holds, I want to look for a 1 minute break of structure. So what I would be looking for is us to break this high here. Really, this is the high that I'm interested in. If we break this high locally into our VWAP, break our VWAP and flip it to support, I will look for a long, put the stop below this low here. So we could do this here. Stop would go below this low here. And overall, I would be shooting as my first take profit is up here. That's already a 3.5 risk to reward ratio, but I'd really ultimately be looking for the pitchfork midline at like 110-ish. Let's zoom out here. The pitchfork midline's 110, and let me pull this way. All right. And the SFP of the all-time highs into the pitchfork. Now, that would take a few days to play out. Hopefully, we kind of grind slowly over the weekend, but we SFP our all-time high into our pitchfork midline. That would be a really nice thing to see. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Now, at the daily naked point of control, and we also have another daily there, a 108.1. We have this daily here. We could be looking for that as well. I believe we have the daily. Let me double check this now because I was wrong on that other one. What was I looking at? Okay, there is no daily there. I don't know what I was looking at. I must have been marking them off on the wrong time frame. All right, so never mind about the daily there, but we are bouncing from our 0.5. We do have our possible long here to look for. And the only reason I'm looking for this long here, first of all, we are in a consolidation range, but the bullish CVD absorption to me is really what I'm liking seeing here. So let's refresh this here and let's look at our absorption. Now, one thing we can see here, you guys, from this high that we hit here, the swing failure pattern, you can see if I take another vertical line here and we look at this across the charts. So we'll go from the highs here. Let me bring this down to a 1 pixel. you can see that pretty much the entire move down has been a squeeze, a long squeeze of late longers. And you can see that we continue to build some pretty big bullish CVD absorption here, even with this drop of OI. You can see between this high here and the higher low that we're seeing lower lows in the CVD, and we are seeing our open interest increase. So bullish absorption is building here. And we are at our point of control and our anchored VWAP from the all-time high. All right, so that's it. Let's go now to the 4-hour chart and let's look at momentum wave is starting to look like it's topping out, but we are not seeing any bearish bearish divs here. Higher highs than price action, and there is no lower highs here, so that's looking good. If we zoom out to the daily, you guys, I still am concerned about this, and this is why I'm looking for a swing failure pattern into the pitchfork midline for a bigger short, because we are still seeing that triple drive of bearish div confirm. Higher highs through all of this, from this high here, the top of this big hump, momentum wave hump, this high here on Wednesday the 13th of November. Higher highs in the price action through all of this. Lower highs in the momentum waves, lower high, lower high, lower high here. And so I do expect us to make another all-time high, but maybe shortly after that all-time high, top out and see a bigger move to the downside, maybe even to come take 89K. I don't know. That's a possibility we need to be watching, though. Last time we had triple drives of bear divs, we did see a pretty big drop. Remember, we were seeing triple drives of bear divs through here into our 108K. Where was it? Right here. That all-time high, we were seeing bear divs through there, and we did get a pretty big drop to the downside. But let's actually, before we zoom out on this, let's look at our daily. We are seeing a green dot on the daily because of this green candle and the bounce from the value area low, and our money flow looks like it's starting to curl to the upside. So if this is able to close green with a green dot, I do expect the momentum to continue to the upside, this consolidation pattern to break to the upside. Even if it's just a swing failure pattern and a fake out and then a dump back down. But I still think higher is more probable right now. With the weekend, let's just continue to watch this range, trade the range until it breaks. So just like anytime you come up to the value area high, you could be looking for shorts if you see low time frame bearish divs. And at the value area low, you could be looking for, and of course, swing failure patterns, liquidity grabs. So liquidity grabs at the value area highs and bear divs, and then liquidity grabs at the value area low with bull divs. Trade the range until it breaks. Just continue to play that price action. Let's zoom in here on the 12-minute chart, and let's look at this. So our momentum wave is bottoming out. Our money flow was decreasing through all of this, but that was positions getting stopped out. So, okay, we did hit into that VWAP. I want to zoom in on this because I'm looking at this as a possible trade. So we have not broke structure yet, not even on the 1 minute for me. I wouldn't call this a structure break. I'm looking for this high here. So if we break this and flip the value area, or flip the VWAP into support, I'll be looking for that long there. Until we do that, we sit on our hands and wait. All right, that's pretty much it for Bitcoin. Let's actually, before we do that, let's look at liquidity real quick. So let me refresh this. All right. Very locally, we do have the liquidity above us from the highs that we took earlier. We didn't take, now remember, we do have that swing failure pattern at 107.3. So there is that liquidity that's above us. And then below us, we do have some local liquidity. It looks like we're already kind of crunching into that here. But it looks like it ends around 104-ish, maybe 104.3. So let's look at that. Let's zoom out here onto the 15-minute chart, and I bet you that is our local golden pocket. So if we do a pull from the highs, from the lows to the high here, Let's go to our golden pocket. Yeah, 1043. Yeah, that's into our golden pocket is our end of our liquidity grab. So I'd just be watching for that. Let's go to our very, very local. And it looks like we took the majority of it, though. The majority of the strong liquidity we already took. We do have some pretty strong liquidity down here at that 102 value, the bigger value area high of the November 11th range. Remember that November 11th to present day, the range, the value area high of that range is about 102. And that's where we keep holding down here, this area. It also is the value area high of our smaller range. So if I zoom out onto the 4-hour chart and we look at this price action since like December, what is that, December 20th, December 19th or so, we can do this lower range here. And you can see that our value area high is right around there as well. Actually, what I would do is look at it like this here. This is the range, and then now we're starting to form a new range up here. All right, so that's quite a bit lower. That's at 97, 98K almost. All right, so that's kind of it for Bitcoin. Play the range. Look at this range. Continue to play this range here. We do have a couple things here. The lows of this range right here, we do have a swing failure pattern into the bottom of our band, of our pitchfork band. And you can see this pitchfork band is a pretty strong support level. So we do need to watch for the liquidity grab. Oftentimes on these retail type patterns, the market makers will stop the liquidity on both sides and then make the real move. So we could be watching for that. And then we do have this local liquidity down here into the top of the pitchfork band. That's another one we could be watching. All right, that's it for Bitcoin. Let's go into Ethereum real quickly. Ethereum here. Okay, so Ethereum, I did talk about this yesterday's video. We do have that local resistance up here, the value area high, the swing failure pattern. Now, we did not get the swing failure pattern, though. That's from this high up here. It's closer to the daily. But we had our pitchfork band, our daily, and our channel top of the bigger descending channel. This pink line here is a bigger descending channel that we've been in for quite a while now. So you can see how nicely this descending channel has been. I know this chart looks messy, so excuse that. But let's zoom in on the local price action. So let's go to the hourly and let's look at just this range, this kind of bottom range that we've been forming here. And did we hit the pitchfork band? Let's see. All right, we front ran that pitchfork band just barely. So I would like to see us come up to actually hit closer to the swing failure pattern up here into our daily. Now, it would be a small breakout of this channel, but oftentimes with the higher time frame channels like this, we'll see a wick out of it and then just come back in. That's kind of what we saw on Trumpcoin just recently. So, yeah, I do think this box is still a valid box of resistance. And of course, above us, this box is even better. We have a naked daily point of control. We have our value area high of our much bigger range since November 11th. Our 786 and the top of the pitchfork band. And that's that 3625 area. I'm still looking at that area for possible shorts. As far as this, this range here, we still do have this same kind of trend line that Bitcoin is seeing with higher lows that are forming through here. Now, if we do a local Fibonacci pull on this, just like we did with Bitcoin, and Bitcoin had its 105K support at the point of control in the anchored VWAP, you can see our golden pocket is in the our point of control is in the golden pocket here. So that's our local support here. I don't know if actually did I cover that on Bitcoin? So Bitcoin, I was looking for a bounce at 105K here because it was our point of control. It was our 0.5, which is often a correction target. If we go from high to low, the last time we held the value area low here, you can see we bounced from our value area low. We came up. So our 0.5, our point of control, and our anchored VWAP from the all-time high is here. And that's why I was looking for that long, possible long there, or support here, local support level. All right, back to Ethereum. So Ethereum is breaking back into the value area of this range here. Let's look at one more thing. Let's look at the smaller range just from here on. We're breaking back into that value area as well. Now that point of control is a bit higher. That's about this 0.5, which is the same as Bitcoin. So let's actually get rid of this range for just a second. And then also our value area low is aligning with the trend of this triangle consolidation pattern that we're seeing. So value area low is definitely a support level I'd be watching, but be careful because we do have a liquidity trail right below it where we could come down, wick out all that liquidity, and then re-enter back into the trend. Now, just like we did on Bitcoin on lower time frames, we re-entered back into the value area. We back tested it bearishly and we rejected, and then we continued down. So we need to be watching for that on Ethereum now. Let's go to the 12-minute chart. So if we do continue to back test this value area and we reject, we could come down. Now that's hard to take a trade there because we have our point of control and our 0.5 here, and then we also had our bigger point of control at the golden pocket just below us. So that's a bad risk reward ratio to be taking. Let's go to our golden pocket. So this golden pocket is in alignment with the bigger point of control. Even if you did take a short, let's go for a short here. And I do not know why this keeps happening with this thing. All right. Anyways, you guys get the idea. If you shorted here, your stop would have to go above these highs for a technical invalidation, but then your TP1 is only down here, so it's not a very good risk reward. What you could do is wait for the rejection to happen and then put your stop below the wick of that rejection, and then your first TP could be down here or even here, and that would make it worth it. But that's kind of a more risky trade because this could be a fake out and we could just keep going higher. I do think this support or resistance up here is pretty nice. So other than that, on Ethereum, we're still just continuing to range the same. Let's trade the range until it breaks. I do think this bigger range is a little bit more important here. So let's come over here down to like these lows here, or maybe even these lows here. This is the bigger range. Below us, we still do have our anchored VWAP from 2000, I believe it was 2000, 2500, around the channel midline. And it's also this blue line that's ascending here is the bottom of our pitchfork. And remember, the last time we hit the bottom of our pitchfork, we had a real nice move to the upside. So that pitchfork bottom is looking very, very nice there. And then our major support has been the same forever, this down here. Big SR flip level. All right, so that's pretty much it for Ethereum. Let's just keep watching the range. Trade the range until it breaks. Of course, you want to be looking for local bull divs at the lows of the value area low, any liquidity grabs, and same with the top. Liquidity grabs and local bull bear divs. Solana. All right, so Solana has been trading pretty much the same thing, but we are seeing a little bit more bullish consolidation on Solana. So one of the things that I was looking at earlier today, let me hide this real quick. I was looking at this descending channel here, this pink descending channel, and we were breaking out of it earlier. We even back tested it along with the VWAP, and we were starting to look like it was about to pump. And I was looking for us to come take these highs, the swing failure pattern of these highs here. Now we didn't do that. So we have these highs, we have very semi-equal highs here, and then now a third high. So we could probably run all three of those together, maybe even come up into our band up here. But Solana is trying to break out of this channel right now. On lower time frames, I was following a different channel because I saw a trend happening in this price action here. So I'm going to turn on that channel, and you can see our highs. We kept hitting into our highs up here. We rejected exactly from the top of the channel earlier today, right when Bitcoin was rejecting. and the lows are holding us. It looks like we were trying to break these lows here, but it was also the lows of this channel were also the back test of the bigger pink channel here. That's why I was kind of looking for possible support to come in around here. If we do a Fibonacci pull from the lows here to the highs, and I think that was our 0.5 as well. Yeah. So a correction target 0.5, and we hit our 0.5. So let's see if this is, because this could be an ABC correction, a very micro ABC correction, and then continue higher. But as long as we're trading within this channel, now this channel does have a higher probability to break down, but if we do break it down outside of this bigger channel, I mean, we're trying to break it down right now. Let's see what happens here. I don't like this last 12-minute candle, us jumping up to the VWAP and then rejecting that hard from the VWAP. That's not a good sign. And if we confirm re-entry like on an hourly candle or more back within the pink channel, I'd be looking for lower. I'd be looking for us to break this 12-minute channel to the downside and continue much, much lower. Wait. All right. So we do have a local range that we could look at here on Ethereum, Solana. I would say this is our most local range here. Let's turn on the golden pocket again. Actually, we'll do this here. Okay, so our local 786 is near a point of control for this range. We do have that liquidity of the second pivot of the small channel there as well. Let's actually take a look at this here. The entire price action of the descending channel. Okay, so no, let me get rid of this. Let me clean this up a bit, and then I'm going to look at a couple things here. Let's zoom out onto our daily chart. I want to see if this is still a fresh daily. So we did hit this daily here. Okay. And then we ran this daily. Yep. All right. So no dailies. Actually, we can actually get rid of this. As far as our higher time frame analysis goes, we broke out of this descending channel. We back tested it. Let me get rid of that. I really would like to come up to this band here again to take these highs into the top of the band and then see a dump. That would be really nice to see here. Our daily momentum wave does look like it's topping out, but it hasn't started rolling over yet, and we are not seeing any bear divs. We do see bear divs between this high, though, all the way back on November 20th. So higher highs in the price action, lower highs on the momentum waves overall between this momentum wave and this momentum wave. But I would like us to continue up into this band one more time to SFP this before we see that bear div play out. 4-hour chart. Yeah, we're just consolidating within this descending channel here. Let me check something out here. Let's put that on our new high. Ooh, that looks really nice actually, because you can see the midline here. Looks really nice. And then the SFPs of these lows would be into our midline too, close to our midline if it took a while. We still do have a high probability to come down to take these lows at 229. And we have almost double the liquidity there because this low here front ran that just barely. Our pitchfork midline is around there as well. So I would like, what would be ideal for me to see is a grind down to take these lows, then come up to take these highs, and then see the bear divs, the big daily bear divs play out. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to happen. I mean, the market doesn't care what you want. So trade what's happening. Don't trade your emotions. Don't trade your bias. Trade the charts. And right now, the charts are showing us that we're in a range here. And this range is what we need to be watching. So I would look at this smaller sideways range for now. We did try to break above the value. We rejected, finally broke above, back tested, came up. Now this channel was different. So it wasn't the top of the channel until I just made it the top of the channel. But then we came down to our VWAP, bounced from our VWAP, rejected from the value area high back test, and now we're dropping. So we can maybe see a drop to this point of control, which is also kind of our prior highs. You can see through here and through all through here, it was support. We lost it. It became resistance all through here. Now that we broke above it again, it can become support again, and we can look for a push up. So if we look just locally on our 15-minute chart, let's do a Fibonacci pull from the last 15-minute low to the high. And yeah, our golden pocket's there as well. So that would be nice. I do think the bigger Fibonacci pull, though, the more correct one to look at is from these lows here. Or even the last touch of the value area low. Actually, yeah, after we bounced into the value area, rejected from the POC, came down to our value area low and held it. So this Fibonacci pull is really nice to look at. And you can see our golden pocket is fairly close to our point of control. So a wick, if we keep dropping, hit into our golden pocket, but close like an hourly candle at or above the point of control, and then just continue higher. And I would be looking for an hourly or 15, nothing lower than a 15-minute. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Solana. The bigger time frames, the 229, that's still a important level for me to be watching. Locally, our range, we can trade a range. Our value area low, we do have some liquidity resting right around there. And then also the midline, if we flushed real quick, we could see us bounce off the midline there. Let's zoom out onto the hourly and let's look at our Fibonacci pull from the last big hourly low to the last big hourly high. So we already came into our golden pocket here, but we have not hit our 786, and you can see our 786 does align pretty nicely with that channel midline there. Yeah, that's nice. So let's get rid of this one. Let's get rid of this. And then our golden pocket's aligning pretty nice with the value area low here. It would be an internal liquidity grab of these lows as well. All right, that's pretty much it for Solana. Let's look at Trumpcoin real quick. So Trumpcoin is just continuing to trade in this descending channel. Now, I made this descending channel way up here based off of these two pivots and this low. Right after this low was formed on the Trump inauguration crash, I formed this channel, and you can see ever since then we've been grinding down within this channel. Now, we came so close to taking these lows here, but we didn't do it. So I'm expecting us to come down to at least take these lows here. If we don't start to make a move up after these lows, I mean, gosh, we got to be looking like around these lows, around $22, or this area here is a support area. Let's go onto our daily chart and let's see if we have, man. So our daily resistance is up here at like 43 bucks, 43.7. But really, I mean, we don't have too much price action here because of what's happening, but we do have this big 4-hour order block that's in here. Let's see if we cannot get that. Let's see if we have an order block on a lower time frame that's a little bit better. So we hit into this order block, we filled it. So I mean, this one down here at $19. Let's look at our pivot points. Oh, there's no monthly pivot points because this hasn't been around for a month yet. Let's look at our order blocks, though. Nothing. It's so new that there's not enough time for these things to form, really. I'd just continue trading this descending channel. We do look like we're starting to form more of a sideways range from like this low here, sideways. So that is an area we could be watching. And we are breaking the value area low. You can see that we rejected from the point of control here. Yeah, it just doesn't look too strong, you guys. This had so much hype and it pumped up so quickly on the launch with Trump just becoming president, with him, about to get inaugurated. Everyone thought he's going to talk about Bitcoin. And then look at this money flow. Holy cow. Disgusting. This thing's going to continue going down, in my opinion. But the only local chance we have for hope is the SFP. If we don't SFP, then we're going much, much lower. All right, let's go zoom into the 15-minute charts. Even 15-minute money flows coming out pretty aggressive. We do see some local bull divs though. So lower lows on the price action here and just barely, but higher lows on the momentum waves here. So if we SFP, that could be a nice local scalp trade. Let's look at the 6-minute. Not even really any bull divs on the 6-minute. Wow. Yeah, I think this thing's going to continue grinding down. At least to SFP those lows. XRP. All right, XRP here. Let's zoom out onto the 4-hour chart. XRP finally, you guys, I was talking about this in the last update I had on XRP about us inevitably breaking this really, really steep pitchfork. Remember, we rejected from the top of it, and I said we were going to start forming a fourth wave correction that could take a couple weeks. Well, we've been doing that. And eventually I said this pitchfork has to break. It's just too steep. And so you saw us, let's zoom in here onto the 1-hour chart. We broke it to the downside, back tested it once, rejected, back tested it twice, rejected, back tested it a third time, and we're rejecting. So this pitchfork is now, I'm going to hide it because I'm going to look at a skiff pitchfork based off of it later. But this wave 4 correction is playing out exactly like I wanted it to. So let me zoom back out to the 4-hour chart, and we're going to look at this here. Because from here, after our bigger correction here, we started another 5-wave impulse. And our impulse was our 1 wave here, 2 wave here, 3 wave went all the way up to here, our 4th wave, and then our 5th wave we could be looking. So remember, we do have this support of this pitchfork band here would be really nice to get into. Last time we hit this, look at this pitchfork band, resistance, 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 resistance. So now that we finally flipped it, we could look for it as a very strong support. And if that comes in as support, we also do have our bigger box down here. Now, I know we already tapped into that box, and that's where I gave you guys that long that it played out exactly like we wanted to. This here, we got this tap perfect into the box because it was our anchored VWAP. It was a bunch of things. Go back in past videos, you can see that I called that out way up here, and we did exactly that and then got the bounce up. So I do like how that played out, but I do still think it's valid because we can SFP the lows again now. We can SFP these lows here into the band of support. We didn't actually, this larger pitchfork band was not quite that high now. So now we could SFP into the band. But we do have, this box here is looking really nice now because we have our golden pocket. Now the anchored VWAP's no longer there, but our pitchfork band and our value area high of our much, much bigger range is there. So let me now come here. We're going to get rid of there we go. Yeah, so this looks nice here, you guys. This box here because of that. We are starting to just form this sideways range though here, so we could do a fixed range volume profile of the sideways range. Let's check this out. Play the range until it breaks. So we do have our value area low coming up. If we do a pull from the last lows to the highs that we made earlier, let's see here. And our 786 is at that value area low there. So at 308.62. But really, if it's going to be weak and ranging and this kind of range continues, then that could be a level to look for. But you'd want to be seeing local bullish CVD. So as we're coming down here, so you'd want to zoom in onto like the 5-minute chart. And as we're coming down here to this level here, you're going to want to be seeing lower lows in the price action and higher lows in the momentum wave. So far, we could see a possibility of that. Like if we continue to kind of grind down here to this level here, and then you could be seeing lower lows here, and then we would do something like this and make a lower momentum wave. We would see higher lows in the momentum waves. You'd be seeing local bullish divs, and that would give us a push, a possible push up. Look for a push up. But this point of control, you can see here, it's now rejecting us. So the point of control, now that we're flipping it into a resistance, we need to watch for it as a resistance still. 15-minute chart. All right, let me get rid of this for a second. Actually, let's zoom out onto the hourly. And we could do another pull of a channel. We can go from the highs to the next lower highs here, bring it down to these lows. I do like this channel because you can see the midline is pretty good, pretty well respected here. And of course, our channel lows are in this box of support as well. So depending on how long it took us to get down here, we could SFP these lows here, these internal lows. I do like this low much better though. Yeah, this is a tough one. All right, so after this big volatile move that happened here, I see a more sideways range. So we could look at a sideways range after that big volatile move. So like from here on. And yes, even that, our value area low is aligning with that 786. So that would be our very local support that I'd be looking at longing. You can see we rejected from the value area high, and we could just play this smaller range. But keep in mind, if Bitcoin makes a bigger move, then this is going to as well. As far as our momentum indicator, money flow looks like it's coming out, looks like it's about to start coming out pretty hard on the hourly. So be careful with that move because high time frame money flow decreasing overpowers low time frame bull divs for sure. Let's go on to the 12-minute chart. 12-minute chart. Okay, so money flow does look like it's bottoming out, but we're not seeing bull divs yet between this low and this low here. So lower lows on the price action, but we also have lower lows on the momentum waves. So no bull divs on the 12. Let's zoom out to the 4-hour chart. All right, 4-hour doesn't look very good. Now remember this, guys. I talked about this when we were way up here. I mean, the money flow was so topped out up there, and we were seeing a giant momentum wave top out, and all through this grind down here, our money flow's just been draining out, and it's continuing to drain out. We're not even seeing any bull divs on the 4-hour yet between this low here and a new low. So it's very possible that we do come down to this pitchfork band here. I'm going to check out. Let's go look at our dailies. So we do have that daily that we could be looking at here. This daily here. So an SFP into the daily. Let's zoom in onto the 1-hour chart. And let's check out our naked daily points of control. Oh, this is weekly, naked weekly points of control. Okay, so we do have a naked weekly point of control up here, but that's for the week that's going on now. So really we want to wait for that. Okay, let's see here. So we do have this naked daily point of control. This looks nice here. We have a swing failure pattern into a naked daily point of control, just like on Bitcoin. So naked daily point of control up here at 328.5. Nothing really to the downside. Oh, actually, No, we hit that. So remember, the reason why I was looking for a bounce in this box too, because it was a naked daily point of control, and you could see it was this naked, but we hit it and we bounced. I had a very strong bounce from it. So it's not naked anymore because we hit it, but we do have that same naked daily point of control. See, I already have it marked out in this box, but we have this naked daily point of control down here as well. All right. Other than that, not too much here. Now, this daily is interesting because we have this SFP here. It is a big, it would be a big wick, but we see big wicks all the time on XRP. Look at this wick, look at this wick, look at these wicks here. So an SFP into the daily would be kind of nice to see. Now, if that takes a couple days, our anchor VWAP should be getting up there too. Yeah, let's just keep an eye on that. But this range, so far locally, we just play the range. I expect low volume chop over the weekend. Everyone is so indecisive on crypto right now. Is Trump going to keep his promise to the crypto community and start doing things about crypto? So everyone's just kind of at a pause, waiting to see what's going to happen with this new administration. And I feel like that's why Bitcoin is kind of consolidating the way it is. Now, I know that's an opinion and that's not based off technicals, but it just feels like that. If you scroll X, you can see that a lot of people are really just waiting for something for him to say something about crypto or to sign some executive order to create a Bitcoin reserve. So I think it's Chop Zone, Chop City, Range City. All right, everyone, have a good day.